Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kiera, and today is such a special day. I hope you guys are having the best day because I'm having a great day because today I'm podcasting with our one and only Christy Treasure, one of our incredible consultants, and I am so excited to have Christy with us. Christy, how are you doing today?
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. The first day of spring, and we're going to bring some new life to clients here
I
and
agree.
potential clients, right?
I completely agree with you, Christy. And honestly, if you guys have not met Christy, Christy is incredible. She's been on our team. Christy, I feel, is just like the queen of wanting to have these amazing practices, just hit great numbers. Christy loves numbers. She loves to dig in. And Christy has this like very delicate leadership style. Like I watch you and I see you just transform practices. You gain their trust. You build their trust. You help team members. I mean, offices who have said, Kira, I only want to work with you are working with Christy and loving her. And so it's just really fun, Christy, to have someone who just is so passionate about dentistry. And I'm just so happy to have you on the podcast with me today. So that's a little intro to Christy. If you haven't met her, haven't heard from her, you definitely need to. So Christy, love having you on our team. It's always a treasure.
Thank you. I love being here. It's a great culture. And you know what? We just have fun serving clients, and that's what it's about.
We totally do. And so, Christy, I wanted you on the podcast today because I feel I've been watching you consult some clients and I've been seeing it's fun in our morning huddle. Don't worry, guys. In Dental Team, we have a morning huddle. You can tell I used to be a dental assistant, team member. That's what I do. And so, Christy, we always share client wins. And it's really fun because then we can share from consultants of like, hey, what are you doing really well? What things are we doing well? And Christy, I've been watching, she's been posting up some really fun changes that she's been able to do with practices. So much so that offices who have never been able to hit certain dollar amounts in their production, things that they never believed were possible, getting overheads like Christy is burning and churning and doing it in like Christy, you come in with this like delicate wave of authority and it's just beautiful. And so I kind of wanted to talk, not necessarily specific to these practices, but I mean, offices who have never hit 100 grand, Christy's been able to help them. Offices who have never been profitable, she's been able to help them. Offices who feel like they can't get their leadership team on board, Christy's getting them. People who say like, we'll never be able to make an operations manual. I'm watching and Christy, you're just like getting these offices to navigate along. And so I thought today would be really fun for us to talk about maybe what are some of the tips or tricks. Again, not necessarily specific to these practices, but things you see overarching that really work to add production to a practice or get a team bought into it. So let's start first. I mean, everybody always wants to geek out on numbers. So Christy, what are some of the things that you found are just really successful? I mean, you were an office manager of a very, very, very successful practice. You've consulted lots and lots and lots of practices, even before coming to Dental Aid Team. You've got some history with you. So Christy, let's kind of share some Christy magic of what are some of the things you've seen that really help impact numbers in a practice quickly and easily with a whole team bought into that.
Yeah, I would say first off and foremost, like obviously picking maybe the top 5 metrics to start working on. And every doctor and office talks about production and collection. And so starting with some of the basics that they already understand, but also like figuring out that point. What are we trying, what are we working for? Not just in a 5-year or 10-year range. I mean, you talk about that all the time, but also what are we looking for this year? And then reverse engineering it. Because if we don't have a point to guide to, it's just numbers. And you know, even when we're talking percentages, we could have 100% of collections, but is it enough to pay the bills? Is it enough to, you know, do the goals that we're reaching for as a team? So definitely it's about starting where they're at and then letting them see something bigger, if you will.
And Chrissy, I think it's such a good thing because like when teams just feel like they're only about today, right? Like it's like, here's my daily bread today, but we don't understand the bigger picture. This is oftentimes when offices get frustrated and they're like, my team isn't even looking down the line. They're not taking the ownership. They're not doing any of these things. So Chrissy, how do you get a team to look further down the line and not feel the overwhelm, not feel like, because, you know, you come in and start to change. How do you have some tips to navigate with team members who maybe aren't as pro getting into it?
Yeah, I would say number one, I mean, we're starting out the year, we're ending first quarter. And so to think, oh, I want to hit $1 million by the end of the year, that's such a big, overwhelming number that we literally break it down. We can project out where are they currently, you know, where their numbers currently projected to hit at the end of the year, and then reverse engineer that. Guys, oh my gosh, we're only $1,000 short a week. How could we go find $1,000, right? And do what we do? It's all in the name of getting our patients healthy. So, breaking it down to that simple step and letting them achieve something daily, if not weekly, and showing them it's easy. And it all relates back to our why. Why did we get into dentistry? It's to serve and get our patients healthy. So when we do that and we know where we're headed, it's really easy to achieve. And then just start, building in the goals from there.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with you because I think in dentistry, it's so fun. I mean, a million seems so hard, but let's break it down. Like if we really want to do, I mean, let's just do some fun math here. So if we're going to do a million, all right. So some offices, they're like, I've never hit a million. Let's figure out a million. I think these are fun. Christy and I do love numbers. So I hope you do. And if you don't, I hope you take on our mantra of like, I love numbers and numbers love me. I want the numbers to love me. So let's enjoy that. So if we have a million, we divide it by 12. Okay. And this is just really rough math. There's more sophisticated ways to project this. That's 83,000 per month. Let's bump it up to 84 because it's 83,333. So let's just do 84,000. So if we're at 84,000 and then we know, let's say you're a practice that is only working 4 days a week. That's fine. You do not need to work 5 days. You don't need to work 6 days. Let's just do a 4-day work week because I like to prove to people, and Christy, I know you do too, we don't have to work harder. Let's just work a little smarter. So with that, let's say it's 16 days a month. Does that make sense? You got 4 days a week. Most months are 4 weeks. I get that there's a few more, which is why this is very loose. Don't worry, if you do this, you'll slush in the right direction. So what that breaks it down to is $5,250 per day. Now, let's say in this practice that they have 2 hygienists. Usually a hygienist is producing about 1,000-ish, rough numbers. That's $3,250 per day for an office. And so I think Chrissy agreed with you. When we look at that and we're like, all right, if we're only scheduled to 2,700 today, where can we go find that extra $600 or $500? And it's not saying we're overdiagnosing patients. What we're doing is we're looking to see, could we add in some fluoride? Could we add in that FMX? How can we do better patient care? Oh my gosh, that patient only wanted to do 1 filling, but they're about to get numb. And that quad of filling seems a lot more enticing because they're about to get numb. It's crazy how when I talk to patients and they say, oh, I think I just want to do this 1 filling. And then when they're about to get numb, it's like, hey, we can actually do the whole quad. And they're like, yeah, we should actually do that. It's wild. That injection, you guys never, ever, ever, ever underestimate the power of an injection. But the reality is, this is how you can look for it. This is how it becomes fun. And I think helping teams, and Christy, you do an amazing job with this, helping teams have fun with this. That's the whole point of a morning huddle. We go to morning huddle to huddle. How do we win the game? Just like a huddle in basketball or a huddle in football. How do we actually win the game? Where are we at? What's that extra 5? I mean, I have been shocked when offices will implement fluoride, or they'll look for FMXs. We're like doing our x-rays on normal cadences, or we're even doing our comp exams. That will add up so fast for you. Adding a sealant, adding in quad dentistry rather than single tooth dentistry. You can find these things so easily. And so, Chrissy, I think you do a beautiful job of that with your practices. And I'm just curious, but what happens when you have that one team member in the back who's just like not having it? What do we do with them, and how do you get those team members on board?
Yeah. Number one, most team members want something more for themselves, right? Whether it's a yearly raise, or I don't know, maybe the office doesn't offer insurance and they want to offer insurance. And I'm like, well, let's find a way to offer it. Let's figure out how much it is. What does it cost? What do we have to do to show the doctor we can earn our way to doing it? So showing them that they can also achieve what they want. I mean, honestly, today I had a team that was talking about taking time off between Christmas and New Year and possibly paying the team for that time off and surprising them. And I'm like, well, let's reverse engineer it. Find out, what do we have to do to pay for that? And then we can surprise that gift ahead of time, because we can measure if we're on target for it, and gift them that time off, if you will. But just, again, showing team what's in it for them, and relating it again back to their why they got into dentistry, which was to take great care of people. And when you do it, we all reap the rewards. And I love that you said morning huddle, because 9 times out of 10, we have that treatment in our schedules already. And it's just having conversations with patients in a relationship fashion. Many people think you have to have more new patients, right? We don't need more new patients. They're in our schedule, and we have the opportunity to just do more on the patients we have. And if you don't believe me, have them run their unscheduled treatment report.
Amen to you, Christy. And I agree with you tenfold. And that's why we consult so well together. And I really love that you said, like, let's show them, let's gift them, let's figure out what our team wants. And that's what's actually so fun. Like, this is why I love numbers. I hated numbers because I didn't understand them. But when you realize that numbers can just be the way to get whatever you want in life, like, it's just truly this really, really fun, dreamy, like you said, if they want to take time off between Christmas and New Year's, fantastic. Let's figure out what that production would be. Let's figure out the cost of paying all the team members. It's very simple. It's not a hard equation to do. Then let's add that amount, divide it amongst the rest of the months of the year. You can literally pay for it. So offices who want to go on trips, offices who want to add in bonuses, offices who want to pay for scrubs, like you name it, all these things can be paid for. And for people listening, this isn't to overdiagnose on the patients. It's not like we're going hunting because we're like, we want to go on that trip. We are looking for the best patient care, like Christy said. We are looking for the little opportunities that we're not doing. And every practice who's like, no, we're doing all this already. Yeah, right. I promise you, I've yet to see one office who has done every single thing perfectly 110%. And so I think, like, let's drop that ego as well and look to see where it can be. And Christy, I love that you bring it. As you were talking, I'm like, Christy to me feels like the analogy of like squeezing the juice out of the lemon or squeezing the tube of toothpaste. And Christy is the gal who looks at your practice and you're like, oh, my tube of toothpaste is empty. And she's like, oh yeah, let me show you. You got like 3 more months worth of toothpaste in this tube. Like, we are squeezing it rather than just going and looking to buy a brand new tube of toothpaste. And within your practice, there's so much more opportunity to like squeeze the juice, squeeze the opportunities rather than having to look outside. Yes, we still need to work on the outside pieces too, but that when we look inside, and I think that this is where you do such a great job, Christy. Like, I tell you, Christy can turn a practice so quickly. It's been magic to watch you, Christy. I'm like, this girl comes in and she just like hangs out. She's working with the team. She's tracking the numbers and la 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 la. The doctor's like, oh my gosh, we hit this and I didn't even know that was possible. But Chrissy's squeezing juice. You're looking for the juice constantly. And so I'm just curious, what other squeeze the juice, squeeze the tube of toothpaste? You said like new patients, you're looking for unscheduled treatment plans. We don't need the new patients. We're looking for just little, what are some of those other opportunities, Christy, that like I spy with my little consultant eye? What do you see in there?
Yeah. Obviously there's a few areas, but one of the things too, when we have limiteds coming in, how many of those do we work to convert? I mean, how many times do we schedule them for a half-hour appointment when really if we just scheduled them for an hour and trained up our assistants to have a conversation on the front end, oh my gosh, if we could avoid future emergencies like this while you're here, we could take a look at everything, come up with a plan, and still treat that tooth that's bothering you, right? Mm-hmm. So, and if they're swollen or in pain, at least scheduling them back to make sure, hey, you know, we could avoid future emergencies like this. Let's get you back and take a look at everything, but get you out of pain today. But that's one area. And again, it's just taking and using what's already there and doing what's best for the patient, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, people only lose their teeth for a few reasons: trauma, extensive decay, you know. So if we can avoid that, just like you said, the power of the shot, if we can avoid future damage and more cost, wouldn't you agree we should take care of it today?
Also, did you hear what Christy said? Wouldn't you agree? And that's a very like amazing line to take into your practice if you're not using that right now. I love the LOEs being converted into a comp exam. It is one of the most incredible things that if a practice will take this on, and some people are like, but Kiera, Christy, they're just coming in for pain. Like they're not going to like it. Yeah, right. You have to remember no one wants to come to see you. And I'm sorry, dentist, but this is the reality. And there's like 1% of the population who's a little bit odd and they actually love to come. But that's like truth. And so they don't want to come anyway. They're already in pain. So let's do them a service. Let's do them a favor. Let's take pictures of their entire mouth, aka x-rays. Let's do a full comp exam. Yes, we're going to take care of that problem tooth. Absolutely, 100% we're going to do that. But odds are, and every doctor and every team member knows this, if I've got one tooth that's looking pretty wild, odds are there's probably a few other places in that mouth that are going to have the same problem come upon them pretty soon. But I think it's also training the front office to say this, training the clinical team on how we present this and how we can do this, but also realizing this is a huge service and benefit to a patient. No patient wants to come back. They really do not. As much as they love you and as fun as you are and as great as your coffee bar is and as fun as your movies are, being at the dentist, even for me, I had to go to the dentist and I was like, gosh, really? Like this place. And I work with dentists. Like I've been a dental assistant. People just don't enjoy having someone awkwardly put their hands in your mouth. It's weird. It's a weird thing that we do, and yet we love it. So Christy, I love that. What are some other ideas that you have around? Because yes, convert the limiteds to comps. Any other things that you have around? And again, I don't want you to give all away your Christy Sparkle. So like, what's one or two more that you have of like being able to squeeze that juice, squeeze that tube of toothpaste?
Well, I would say many times, especially for the dentist coming in or newly starting out, having firm financial arrangements, and it's not, firm doesn't mean strict necessarily, but it's comprehensive finances. It's finding a plan to get all their treatment done, even if you're phasing it out over time. But I would say really, there's usually that low-hanging fruit in AR or insurance that we can just put in simple systems that go after that and stop it bleeding into, aging out, if you will. So many times that's an area to start and just look at what our processes are. How are we collecting? Are we getting the good estimates to get the correct amount collected over the counter?
Okay. So, in that, I agree with you, Christy, because a lot of times people are like, we need to make more. And I'm like, you don't even need to make more. It's just hanging out in your AR. Like you've already done the work. We just need to collect the money for it. So you mentioned, making sure that when we do this, we have good treatment plan estimates, which comes from good insurance verification, which comes from good entering of that. That's going to help a lot. What are some of the other financial policies that you found that tend to work really, really well for practices?
Yeah. Well, let me be clear that treatment plans are different than financial arrangements. Treatment plans are what we're going to do. Financial arrangements are how are we going to take care of it. And many times people are missing the how we're going to take care of it. They're like, oh yeah, they know the cost. We gave them the printout, but are we really solidifying how we're going to take care of it? Are you the type of patient that needs, to pay over time? Are we capturing exactly what they're doing, if you will?
Yeah, which is really smart because otherwise it's a lingering. Are we paying with cash? Are we paying with credit card? Are we paying with financing options? What are we doing with that? That's going to firm this up. And I agree, as soon as that gets dialed in and people panic, like, I don't want to put this out there. And I'm like, where did we feel like we went back to the 1800s to where it's like, just put it on my tab? Like, I still do not understand why dental practices get so nervous to ask patients to pay for something that they just received. 99% of the time in today's world, we're having to prepay for these treatments before services are done. And I feel like dentistry, let's come to the playing field. Let's get a little more current. Let's get a little bit more on the same page of the rest of the world. It's not weird.
No.
It's weird the fact that we think it's weird. That's what's weird. Like, it's okay to ask patients to pay for it. It's okay to expect them to have financials before they come in for treatment. That's normal. And then what we do is for all the patients that we've been like lollygagging on in the past, it's okay. It's all right. There's no judgment here. Those patients we start to collect when they come in. So we start to collect on that side. We can send statements to them. We can run our AR and we get better for future and we have them sign on those financial arrangements. So that way there's no confusion. The only reason patients get frustrated with you is because expectations were missed. So I love what Chrissy said with these financial arrangements. It's a beautiful way to not have expectations being missed and a really good way to squeeze some juice in your practice to find those little missing opportunities. Christy, you've been a freaking dream. Are there any other little like secret nuggets that you feel like you want to leave with our audience before we say goodbye today? Because honestly, I just have loved this and I enjoy the imagery. I'm gonna like have you every time I see you now. I'm gonna think of you like squeezing the juice. Like I'll just think of you like Christy's over there taking lemons into lemonade. So any other last thoughts you have as we wrap up today?
Yeah. Actually, you mentioned the financial arrangements, and I just want to challenge people. I almost love the practices where they say, see you later, send me a statement, and flipping them to actually getting down payments or reservation fees for appointments. Like I've watched a practice go from literally that to, oh my gosh, they're so excited because they are using pre-collect. But I also want to flip people's thinking. Just like you said earlier about patients not wanting to stay, don't put our own bias in it, because I hear people say, well, we'll do a reservation for large appointments. I just want to challenge you that allow that same opportunity even for the smaller payments. If I had $500 in my savings and you offered me to pay $250 today to reserve it and $250 when I come in, I very well may appreciate having that so it doesn't drain my savings or my checking or wherever I'm pulling that money from, versus, hey, you could pay $50 today and now I have $450 to pay when I come back in. So I just challenge you to, try to gamify it a little bit and have fun with it. And I promise your patients will appreciate it.
Oh, Christy, I love that you said gamify it. And I think I heard once at a conference I attended, and they said business is just a game. Like it's truly a game. And when you look at it, it takes the stress out of it. I think running a successful practice can be a game, not our dentistry being a game for the patients, but a game of how we think about things. I look at like chess, or my brother used to play Strategio, or there was another game like Clue. I loved playing Clue. That was like my favorite game. I mean, I was the Clue master. I won that game all the time. I would love somebody to to like challenge me on it. But the reason those games are fun is because we challenge our thinking. We think outside the box. We make it fun. And so I love, Christy, these ideas you brought to the table today are how can we think outside the box? How can we make it fun? And I agree with you, Christy. It's crazy how when you just change your thinking just a smidge, we're not asking you to like completely and obliterate who you've been all this time, but just a smidge, you will see magic happen in your practice. You will see more patients saying yes to you. You'll see more patients scheduling. You'll see your AR being chipped down. Doctors, you'll see more money coming into your bank account. So many wonderful things this way just to change that. And I love that you said like offer it to even the smaller ones. Why not? Because you're right. That is a benefit to these other patients. They might say no, but they also might say yes. And then collections become so much easier. So Christy, it was so fun to have you on the podcast. I love you on our team. I love practices who get to work with you. I always feel like practices who get Christy truly get just such a treat to work with you, because you really do find these little simple ways to help them hit goals and possibilities that they honestly never believed was possible. So thanks for being on the podcast with me today and being on our team.
Thank you.
Of course. And for all of you listening, thank you for listening. And we'll catch you next time on the Dental Team Podcast.